Rick Malava here again, CTB RAM in the forums, and thanks for uploading your file. I'm looking at it right now, and I think I've found what your problem is, or as they say in Mythbusters, well, there's your problem right there. What's happened here is you can see on this, on my display, you see all these bold edges? The bold edges means that there's a border edge here. That means that this polygon is not connected to that polygon, right? This polygon is connected to this polygon because you can see I just have a normal edge here. Now I keep this mode turned on all the time for just this reason, so that I can see where I have border edges and where I've possibly created non-laminar geometry, or where I've potentially sliced up the geometry like you have here. I don't know if you've got laminar or if you've just actually just somehow split this geometry up. Let me go in here and delete this face and see. Okay, it looks to me like you've just somehow separated the vertices at all these points. I'll hit Z to get that back. Now, before I show you how to fix it, let me show you how to get this option where you can see the border edges. If you go to Window, Preferences, and you go to the polygon settings right here. These are all your polygon display settings. You want to turn on, I like soften harden edges. If you don't turn soften harden edges on, you see how some of my edges in this display are dotted and some of them are solid. The solid edges just mean that the surface normals are hardened, and the dotted edges mean that the surface normals along those edges are softened. So I can see at a glance where my softened and hardened edges are. You can turn that off by just selecting this standard radio button, which is the default. I like to see both. The other thing that I always turn on is check this border edges, highlight border edges box, and then I set the edge width to 3 or 4, and that's where you're getting these bold edges. You see, it makes sense at the bottom here. There's nothing connected to this edge, so it's bold. And at the top here, where you've got this face curled around, and you have this open edge right here, it's bold, and those should be the only two bold edges in this model. So somehow you've split all of these vertices apart, and so you've got a separate face here and a separate face here and a separate face here. So even with keep faces together on, they're gonna extrude independently. If I go and verify that display, go to Edit Mesh. Go to Edit Mesh, and you see keep faces together is checked, but yet if I extrude those faces, they're extruding independently. Okay, and that's because, and it's interesting to note that they're extruding independently across these edges, but not across this edge, which you can see is not a border edge. It's just a softened edge. So now, how can we fix this? First, let's undo what I just did there. Let's take this guy out of the way. And let's first try to just see that if we can just merge all the vertices and connect all these open edges back up. So I'm going to go to vertex mode. I'm going to select everything in the model, and I'm going to go to, let me go back here. I'm going to go to merge vertices, merge vertices. And that got rid of some of them, but we still have issues with this, with these chunks right here. And let's see what's going on there. So if I come in here and I pick this vert and I move it a little bit, it looks like it's a single vert, but let me check the edges here. If I select this edge, I'm seeing one edge. Merge border edges doesn't fix it. I wonder if you've got laminar geometry. Let's see if we can do the next thing. So we got rid of some of them, but we're left with these, and it's very strange. It's a pattern. How you got them separated, I really don't know. But rather than try to figure it out, let's see if we can fix it. So let's pick the whole object again, go to Cleanup, and then I'm going to have the radial cleanup matching polygons selected. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to check. These will be unchecked by default. I'm going to check these three boxes: laminar faces, non-manifold, and edges with 0 length, and actually 4 boxes, and faces with 0 geometry area. Don't worry about this last one, that has to do with UVs. And hit apply. And there you go. All of those all of those edges that were border edges go away, and now I have a single piece with a border edge up here, right where you'd expect. That's where it curls around, and a border edge down here, right, because it's not connected to anything, and everything in between is just a normal connected edge, right? Which means now if I come over here and I select, let me undo that last, so I can see where you had, there you go. So here's the faces that you had selected over here. Yeah, I think this was the patch. So if I take these faces now and I go extrude, and I extrude them, there you go. Behaves the way it should. So there you go. Let me know. I can send this file back to you if you want to have this file, but I would suggest going in and cleaning up your file using what I just showed you. It just gives you a couple more tools in your toolbox to understand what's going on. So the first thing I did was selected all the vertices and hit merge vert, and that got cleared up a lot of the problem. And then the second thing I did was make sure you're in object mode. In other words, it's green, and then go to mesh cleanup. And then in cleanup, make sure you've got this top radio button checked, this top radio button checked, and then come down, and then you should have this box checked down here. This is just the default settings. And then the main thing is to go down to remove geometry section and check the first 4 boxes that you can check, and then hit apply, and that should clean up your mesh for you. And then what I would suggest after all of that is go in and do a delete history. So go into edit. Delete by type history. Just delete the history on the mesh, so you clean up all the whatever things that you did to create all of those separate border edges. And don't kick yourself too hard about it. It's real easy. Maybe you accidentally hit some verts and did bevel verts, or you might have done some additional extrudes and just inadvertently created all those border edges. It happens. With those, remember the options that I recommended. Go into your window, settings and preferences, go to the polygon settings, go to polygon settings, turn on border edges, and turn on up this edge width so that you can clearly see the border edges. And then it's up to you how you want to display your edges, either softened, hardened, or both. There you go. Hope this helps you out. Thanks a lot. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to just post something in the thread, and we'll continue to help you out with it.